Today to share a little bit about my story, and I'm excited. I'm excited about sharing where I've been, some of the journeys that I've been on, and some of the things I've been able to overcome. So, just by raising hands, how many people feel that they are what they think about? All right, how many of you feel that you are what you think about? Good. There are a few of you. Now, what you're going to learn today is something that may not have been introduced to you, but when it was introduced to me, it really gave me a different perspective on life. My name is Hairston, and I'm originally from New London, Connecticut. I played football most of my life. I played from 9 years old all the way up to the pros. I played arena football 2 years, had the opportunity to bring a check to the bank to play for something that I've always loved to do. But I had that shortly ended by a knee injury. And I had two choices, right? I can sit there and sulk, or I can make do with what I had. So I started my own company called TopBallers.net, and what I started doing was I started sharing what it was that I was able to overcome with those individuals to show them how to use that as a vehicle to get what they want out of life. Now, some people are in different situations, and we all come from different backgrounds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to educate you a little bit about your thoughts and how powerful they can be. Because when you start to really channel and focus on certain things, you'll be surprised what the outcome will be. And the things that you're focused on now, unconsciously, that are already happening for you, you may not be getting the results you want because of the programming that's already happening. So I'm going to show a quick video. It's about 18 minutes long, but it's a good understanding of where we're going to go with this morning. And we have some exercises, a lot of fun. So I just want you to relax and just kind of take in the information. And as the morning goes, I'm going to show you and teach you how to apply it to certain things. And hopefully you guys know something tonight. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, go. So some of you may have had a tough time listening and really hearing what he was saying, but I know you got something out of it. So just by raising hands, I want to kind of get some feedback from you. What were some of the takeaways that you got from the video?
Not being a follower.
Very good. And why do you think that's important?
Being your own person.
And why do you think that's important?
Now you know.
Because you are what you think about, right? You are what you think about. So when you're following someone, you're not thinking, are you? You're just following. Good point.
The most important thing about a person is their mind.
Yes. And why is that so important?
It's pretty much what we are, Respect people for their mind,
Absolutely. Our identity, right?
Whether you like it or not, you gotta respect everybody.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Well, just to add on what he said, he said that it's true, the only thing that separates us from anything else is
Right, it makes us individuals, right? Absolutely. Anyone else want to share?
Well, other than there was mention of women in it, but the goals, having goals.
Having goals, very important. Goals, I mean, without goals, right? I mean, you have two ships. You have one with a captain, one without a captain. Both boats are going to get somewhere, right? But the one with the captain is probably going to get to the one that's going to go in the direction. The other one's going to end up shipwrecked on some island somewhere. But it got somewhere, right? The one had a goal and did it. Goals, yes.
Having a positive attitude.
Yes, yes. Now, why do you think that's important?
It helps you to look on the positive side of things and move you in the right direction. You don't have to get stuck in the negative. Stay focused on the positive.
Focus on what you want, right? Right on. One more. Anybody else want to share?
Listen, if you have a positive attitude and you project that you're interested in what somebody's saying to you, you're going to get good feedback from them too. You know, if I come at you with a bad looking face and oh, you're going to get that back and it's just going to go down from there.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. Our energy is important. You know, I'm going to say a story real quick that really, really put this in hindsight. So I have two children at home. I have a 6-year-old and a 1-year-old. Now my 6-year-old, very energetic, very outgoing, very into dinosaurs. Okay? So those who have children, I'm sure you understand. When they get to dinosaurs, now this huge animal and all this excitement. But, you know, we get sometimes in a rut as a parent. We got busy schedules, we get home, and our imagination's turned off completely, right? We're in a mode of get dinner, get lunch ready for tomorrow, do homework, I gotta get some rest, maybe got some paperwork to do, right? And then your child comes up to you and says, Daddy, I wanna play dinosaurs. You be a stegosaurus, I'll be a brontosaurus. And I'm like, oh yeah, all right, honey, you know. He goes, no, Daddy, no, seriously, let's do this game. Oh yeah. And what you fail to realize is that in his mind, he really thinks he's a dinosaur, right? He wants to turn that excitement on. It's really exciting. So after I watched this video a few times, I made it almost like a ritual to remind myself to use my imagination, to think like a child. Because as a child, the only thing that differentiates us as adults and a child is the freedom of mind, the freedom of the responsibilities, right? Of have to do something. Their imagination's abundant. So what did I do? I turned my imagination on. So he's like, Daddy, I'm a stegosaurus. And I'm like, oh, I'm a T-Rex. Raw! And what ended up happening was that emotion and that fun and that freedom. I looked at my wife and I said, oh my goodness, I feel amazing. You know, and just for that second of being a T-Rex was like liberating. Because no longer was I thinking about bills. No longer was I thinking about what I just had all day for 40 hours, you know, working with people that were some happy, some weren't happy, some were excited, some weren't. I wasn't thinking about that anymore. I was free. So what I want to emphasize is what we focus on, we become. And, you know, I've been doing a lot of self-development since I've seen this because like you said, how much are you putting back in? Right? I mean, just like a vehicle. You can run it with a full tank when you first get it, but if it runs into no more gas, how else is that vehicle going to go? You got to fill it back up. You got to do maintenance on it. We all understand the importance of maintenance on our vehicles, right? Oil changes and filters and all that stuff. But what are we doing for ourselves? Right? How are we feeding our minds? You know, I put on CNN the other day, and that's constant negative news. CNN. I mean, I turned it on for 30 seconds. My son said, Daddy, is that close to us? I turned that off immediately. I said, my goodness. You know, there's a reason why I don't watch TV. Because it's feeding me, and everything I do is on demand. And the reason why is because I want to filter what I watch, what my brain is doing. Right? So we have two types of consciousness. We have our unconscious mind, which is programmed since birth, and then we have our conscious mind that's now, in present. So what I started doing is I started studying the importance of both levels. And we actually have control. We have choice. Now I'm a very spiritual individual, right? I put the Lord in the middle of everything I do. And I have to do that because that centers me. That gives me guidance. That lets me know a level of certainty, right? And from there, I expand my mind and say, you know what? How do I fuel myself? How do I keep myself in a positive mindset, right? Because every day we're going to be faced with obstacles, right? I mean, that's just how it goes. But how are we going to choose to deal with it? Are we going to sit there and frown and sulk, right? Life isn't for weeping and sulking and complaining. Life is for going and getting things done, right? Creating a team of individuals, helping them find the greatness within them. Because we all have it. It's just some of us don't believe it anymore. And just like that young child's mind, he wanted to be a dinosaur. And for that moment, he didn't care about anything else. He didn't care about eating, his homework. He didn't care about his room being dirty. All he cared about was being a dinosaur. He didn't even exist anymore. But in his mind, it was freedom, and he made it. It could have been green, blue, yellow, it didn't matter in his head. The moment I turned my imagination on, I changed the environment completely. I felt better because I said, wow, I do have a choice to turn it on and turn it off. No one told me that I had to stop doing my imagination. I did. I turned that off. So, real quick, I want you to, to face the person next to you and say, I have a choice. So go ahead. Face the person next to you and say, I have a choice. Yes. And I'll give you a high five to say we can do this. Now, the reason why I do that, and the reason why we have to do that is we have to surround ourselves with individuals. Now, you're going to have three types of people. You're going to have the people that have just no emotion at all and just walk through life aimlessly. You're going to have the people with smiles, right, that are just happy, abundant, feel grateful for things that they have. Then you have someone that's a little confused, right? They're right in between the road. They got a lot going on both ends, right? So who are you going to choose to be? And you may fall into different chapters here and there. But what I want to encourage you to do is I want you to make people smile. And how do you do that? How do you make someone smile?
Smile at it.
Set the example.
Yes. Smile. What was that?
Buy a green Jeep.
Buy a green Jeep. There we go. Awesome. And you know what? It's as simple as that. And as I hear the laughter and the excitement, that's what life's about. So I want you all to just start to create habits throughout your days. And I have a little list, a little pen, and a little pad next to my bed. And every morning I wake up, I write something down that I'm grateful for. Because we all have something we're thankful for. We all do. Whether or not we think about it all day long, is really the amount of gratitude you're going to have throughout your day. Right? But if you just start your day off with a little bit of gratitude, it'll make you feel better. Because a lot of people don't have things. And you start looking at your life and you hear someone's story, you're like, wow, I do have it good. I do have it good. And I'm thankful for that. And that changes your mindset. And then when you come to work, I talk to people all the time. As a motivational speaker, keynote speaker, I talk to a lot of people. I probably talk to almost 500,000 people in my lifetime. And the common denominator that I've found is that people don't allow themselves to be them. They don't allow themselves to be them. They don't accept that they're great. Right? They listen to all their environment. They listen to the paths that they've been given and the choices that they have made, right? Because it all comes down to choice. And then they create this outcome. They say, this is who I am. I hate my job. I don't like what I do, right? I want something new. And what I tell them is that we're all in a place in our life because we have to be there. Someone there needs you to be there. And when your job is finished there, you will be sent somewhere else. And the great part of that is you have the choice to whether be great that day or not be great that day. That's your choice. That's not anything to do with your management, nothing to do with your supervisor, nothing to do with the company you work for. And as a self-employed individual, I've worked in corporate America. I went to school to be a computer engineer. That's what I used to do. I was a geek. Sat in closets all day long, working on technology. It was great. I was good at it. But that time it came to an end. And I found something else that I was supposed to be doing. And now I stand in front of you. And I'm giving you my all. Because I choose to do that. I woke up this morning and said, today's going to be a great day. I had no idea what the day was going to be. It's going to be a brand new day. We make it what we want. We may go through the same routines of getting to the point where we have our goal for the day. But along that path is a journey. You may see someone at the gas station. You may see someone at Stop and Shop. You may have to stop for lunch. During Subway, whatever you have for lunch. Or in the lunchroom. But just think for a moment. If you just think abundantly about what you enjoy doing, the excitement that you incur throughout your day, and just really remove yourself from the thoughts that don't make you feel good, because that's the gauge, right? I mean, how do we gauge whether or not today is going to be a good day or a bad day? It's how we feel, right? And we have a choice to feel, and we have a choice to change our mind and change our thoughts, right? So, get into creating those habits and those rituals in the morning. Right? Prayer. If you do prayer, do prayer. Write down, your gratitude. At the end of the day, write down some goals, some things you want to accomplish. And you know what? Every day is not promised, but if you do have it, it's a brand new day. It's brand new. There's nothing the same about it. It has never been before. Has it ever been February 11th, 2016? No. Has it ever been 3 o'clock? No. So, what are we going to make between now and 3 o'clock? Just think about that. And when you start to expand your mind, trust me, it really, really changes things. And you start looking at things a little differently. And you start to realize that you do have a choice. And whatever you're doing for a job, do your best. Do your best. Give it your all. Have fun. You know, learn who you're working with. Because it's not about you. It really isn't. You know, our lives are consumed of responsibility. And the only one that we are responsible for is being who we are. And loving that. Loving yourself, I think, is one of the most important things that we don't do often. We just run through life listening to what other people believe we are. And that's important to an extent. Thank them for thinking of you. Because a lot of people don't care about you, they think about themselves. But yeah, I mean, just really start to, you know, be the best version of you every morning. And when you start to do that, so how many people in here have children? Pretty much everybody. Right on. So just, you know, just real quick, you know, what kind of environment do you feel would help a child thrive? I don't know. Just raise your hand.
Happy, loving,
Yep.
respectful,
Yep.
Accepting.
Accepting. That's great. What else? Trusting. Yes.
respectful,
Respectful. Huge. Positive. Yeah. You know, an environment to thrive in. Right? We don't have to repeat what we came from. We don't. That's our choice. You know, when I started having children, I sat down with my wife and I said, you know, honey, what are we going to create for our child? And we don't even realize it. We have that choice. It's pretty cool. We get to direct the life, a ship. And that ship's going to go either crash on an abandoned island or it's going to go to the land of abundance. That's our choice. But that's also our choice when we go to work and we work with each other, right? We can link arms with those individuals. We can lift people's spirit. And if you notice that somebody's having a rough patch, ask them, if money and time didn't matter, what would you do? They'll look at you first and be like, And you say, no, seriously. If money and time didn't matter, what would you do? And watch what happens. You go, oh, wow, that's a great question. I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that. And all that excitement starts coming and that joy starts coming. You change that person's name. At least at that moment. So that's it. It's just really simple. We are what we think about. What we focus on, we become. And, you know, I really share this with you because it changed my life. It made me a better husband. It made me a better father. It made me a better brother. It made me a better son to my mom. Because, you know, we get so stuck in responsibility. And it can consume us to the point where we just become robots. And that's pretty much 95% of the world, is that people just go by the flow. And they have no goals, no direction. They think just collecting a paycheck and paying bills is what they're worth. And you're worth so much more. All of you are worth so much more. Because I look at each one of you and I look in your eyes, I can see the journeys. I can see the stories. You know, and it excites me. You know, because that's what's special about each and every one of you is your story, your journey, your struggle, the challenge. And, you know, I talk about struggle as an exciting thing. You know, we should celebrate that. It's just like working out, right? I mean, some people, we love it. We love that pain, right? We love that resistance. Because when we put that weight up, we feel accomplished. That's how we should look at the cycle of growth in life, right? If you're not going through resistance, if you're not pushing yourself into resistance, then you're never going to grow. And you should encourage each other to do that. Does anybody have any comments or questions? I know I've been getting a lot of stuff to you guys, and ladies, and I think it's important that I get some feedback from you all and questions in regards to something maybe going through, or something you want to share, or something that's just like, aha. I mean, anyone?
I believe, my belief is you have to be at peace with yourself. The rest is easy. That's my belief.
And how do you get there?
Just through experience. Just be at peace with yourself. Be happy with yourself.
Receive it. Yeah.
Bring that out to others.
Yeah. Contribute. Thank you. That's awesome. Anyone else? Yes.
Love, respect yourself. When you do that, you respect others, and so on.
And they see it. You see that confidence.
Every day, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, I see it. I see it. Thank you.
what position did you play?
Running back. Yep, I was a running back. An amazing game. Arena football. It was like playing in the house. I mean, I tell you, we were at practice. I remember the coach saying, "Okay, we're gonna run some plays," and literally, I felt like my mom was gonna be yelling at me. You know, they're like, all right, go out for a pass. And I'm like, well, coach, there's not enough room. He's like, go out for a pass, and I'm like, whoa, But yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. I had a great opportunity. I was on my way to the New York Giants. Kevin Gilbride had put me on this team. Well, had me work out for the team. I made the team. Then I had an injury, suffered a knee injury, 5th weekend, and came back 9 months, played hard, and then the team ended up folding. The whole AFL team started kind of losing money, and yeah, it was a great experience. But yeah, running back. I like to get hit, and I like to hit. It was some weird concept in my head that it was a lot of fun. My mom wished I would have played baseball though. Anyone else have any comments or questions? Awesome. No, and I like that it kind of sinks in here. So what I want to do is I just want to do a cool exercise. I want you to pick a partner, and I want you to share 3 things that you're thankful for. 3 things of gratitude. Okay? Did you guys do that? Awesome. All right, so pick a partner and share. The first one's going to go, so you can pick who goes first. Just share 3 things of gratitude. All right, now switch it up if you haven't switched it up.
Reminds me of my son-in-law. That the dragons getting down on these that's how it's really loud. Devin loves dragons. They would have died since he was like
5. Awesome. Now, does anybody want to share someone's gratitude? Anybody want to share?
We're thankful for family, spouses, children, animals, pets, job,
Awesome.
church.
Awesome. Good stuff. Anybody else want to share?
I'm thankful that just the fact that we live in America, good town, good state, good country, not a perfect world, but we got better than the vast majority of people. So.
Yeah, that's something to be really grateful for. Because when you do put on our news, just looking at things that are going on.
First world problems are
Amazing. Really. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else?
I'm grateful for God making me the wonderful person that I am today.
Amen. For sure.
I'm thankful for the job I have and the people I work with. My boss.
Smart man. Awesome. Kudos. So, I'm going to share a little gratitude with y'all this evening, this morning, because, as I looked and observed all of you sharing gratitude, everybody was smiling. There was no one without a smile on their face. And I think that is so awesome. Just imagine all day just feeling that way. And you can. You can. It's possible. You have. What was that?
Never know what you're up to when you got a smile.
You're right. But it's got to be good. It feels good. It's inevitable. So, I had a great question, and I wanted him to ask me this question so I can share it with the team here.
What do you think the difference between dancing
And what do you define fantasy?
It's like you're talking about your home style, you know, teaching the kids like, oh, once the news comes on, bad news, you turn it off, and it's, well, how they're gonna learn what the real world is like outside, because that's real. Not in your house when you're playing dinosaurs. You go out in the real world, people are gonna be yelling at you, screaming at you, killing. That's the real world.
So that's a great question. And
I just wanted to kind of, not so much add to that, but maybe put a different angle on, the real world is still kind of when you make it your own real world. That's somebody else's real world. You can create your real world how you want your real world. Just because the shooting and killing's going on somewhere else, you direct that person, you direct your ship to the goal you want to go to. It's time to crash into that world. That's somebody else's world.
somebody was listening to that video. So my take on that, because you know what, that's a acceptable question. Because some people, okay, haven't realized that their environment is a direct reflection of what's going on inside here. Okay? So if you want your environment to change, if you want it to be surrounded by killing, violence, negativity, yelling and screaming, then you need to change the roots. So if you look at a tree, okay, and you pick an apple, and you taste it, it's rotten. You go pick another apple, and it's rotten. Eventually you're gonna realize that it's not the tree and the fruit you're gonna change. You gotta go find the roots. What is it feeding? What is the tree growing in? And once you change that, now you change the fruit. Same thing in our life. So when you look at reality, as people call it, there really isn't anything until you make it. There's a decision that's going to be made. It's either going to be your decision or someone else's. That's it. So, to your point, if you're feeling that level of deception, so that's what that is. That's an uncomfort zone. So when you felt and you received that information today, and you started feeling that level of uncomfort, like whoa, you know, it's not reality. Right? I still got to go back to this job that I don't like. I still got to go deal with these people. Like, no, that's real, right? Your response is all that matters. How are you going to respond to that situation? Are you going to feed into it and make it bigger? Or are you going to change it? You can't change it, believe it or not. Now, the cycle of growth, because this brings up a really good point. The cycle of growth with everything we do in life has 4 stages. It has inception, which is the excitement, starting something new, almost like that lottery type, mindset and abundance of possibility. When I win that 1.5 billion, oh my goodness, I'm gonna go buy a small country and buy sneakers and food and all this stuff, right? That's inception. Then what happens is, you spent your dollar, and now all of a sudden you fucking realize the odds are pretty stretched out too far, that possibly, I don't know. So now that level of deception, right, or uncertainty starts to kind of set in, right? So now the inception is not as exciting anymore. It's kind of like, oh, well, I thought this job was going to be great. I thought the people I was going to work with was going to be a lot of fun. What I'm realizing here is that, maybe I don't like this. Maybe I don't like the people I'm working with. Maybe I'm not excited about doing this job any longer. But that's temporary based off of what your response is. Okay? So in inception, right, you're unconsciously incompetent, meaning that you're just whatever. It doesn't even matter. Okay? When you get into deception, now you're consciously incompetent, right? So now you're realizing that, well, maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was. Maybe I'm not ready for this level. Okay? Now, that's a great place to be, because that's where the growth happens. Like I said, back in the gym. When you go to the gym for the first time, it's January 1st, everybody's losing weight. Trust me, I do it all day long, every year. January to March is an amazing journey for a lot of people, right? You can quit or fail, depending on the results they get and the choices they make. So you go to the gym the first time you're stored. That first week you're like, oh my goodness, what the heck did I do? Oh, I can't move arms, like T-Rex, legs, you're like, I can't sit down. And it's like, body becomes a whole different story. So, it's temporary depending on how you receive the information, right? So that's that growth piece, right? That's how muscles grow, but that's also how we grow in life. So someone who's really excited about getting into deception is someone that enjoys growing. Because they know if they're not dealing with deception, then there's nothing happening. It's complete and utter, just stagnant parking, as some people call it. Parking right now. I'm not doing anything, I'm not driving, I'm not moving, I'm just gonna park. That's not a good place to be a lot of times, it really isn't, right? You should park a little bit, right? Take a rest, you need some sleep. But get back and behind that wheel and start driving again. You might deal with some traffic, that's fine. That's fine, listen to some good music, have a good time. Right? Enjoy the scenery, right? Don't complain about the cars in front of you, people. I've been on this bridge before, for this much time. Last time I'll do it in 30 seconds. So once you get out of that deception phase, now you start to become into transformation, okay? Now transformation is a great place, but it's temporary because it's on its way to identity, okay? It's on the way to actually becoming or achieving what you set out to be in inception, okay? And it's like a U, because everybody has to go through it. You go through this channel, and some people can fly through it because they're familiar with it, right? They enjoy being uncomfortable. They enjoy it because they know they're stretching, and then they look at their results like, wow, look what I did. A wise man once said, there's no path to create one.